Yes, YouTube, Jordan here. Today I'm going to be talking about what I carry in this thing, my camera bag, and what I'll be taking to Australia. I'll be covering my camera gear, my accessories and the tech side of things. It won't be what I would typically carry around every day, but it is what I feel I need when I go on these trips to make my YouTube videos. So stay tuned and we'll get into the bag. Right, let's get into it. Put this out of the way for now. We will get onto that. Camera bag. PGY Tech One More. So, first and only camera bag I've had. So when I started getting into the content creation around 2 years ago, I think, I started looking for camera bags. I did want something with particularly waterproof was my main driver, especially being from the UK. Something comfy and something that would last. Can't remember how much I paid for this. I've been looking recently and it says it's around £200. I definitely didn't pay that for it. However, it is worth it, I would say. We will get onto the inside shortly. But what do you get with this bag? So, side pocket, tripod, or little LED light, which you saw me just remove from there. This side, just a spare pocket. I have a power bank in there and a zip section. As with most camera bags, access into the inside. So here is where I normally store the camera. Then you've got your RFID protection pocket for where you should really put your bank cards and stuff like that. And if I'm honest, I never use it. Probably should. Hey ho. This section, another access in, some battery compartments there we'll come to later on, and another bag in there which I will get out now. Ooh. So this is the additional shoulder bag you can get with the One More, or you can, it's optional as this, you can get it without. I would recommend you get this though. Why? It's just so useful. I mean, I'll probably touch on how many times I've used this, but if you don't want to be carrying this thing around with you, you can attach a shoulder strap on, get it over your shoulder, and off you go. Multiple pockets inside here, if you can see. This is my setup inside. We'll get into the equipment shortly, but all these removable Velcro sections. This main part as well will also fold down and come out. Section here for your laptop, Mac, iPad. They're not in there at the minute, just because I'm saving a bit of weight. Zip it up short quickly. One of the straps I've got on the top, you get several of these straps. I normally keep that on there for carrying water, or again my tripod if this side pocket's filled up. Front pocket here, expandable. So if you do need some extra space, there you go. In terms of the litre capacity for this bag, I'm not sure, if I'm honest. Not something I've ever been too concerned about. It does what I need it to do. I mentioned the bag is weatherproof, but if you need it to be waterproof, in the bottom you get a pocket here. It's like a waterproof bag that goes over, and it does work. So when I first bought the bag, the first hike I took it on was out in the rain to check its effectiveness, as you do. Maybe not a good idea, however it was waterproof, so no issues there. Yeah, PGY Tech One More, definitely would recommend this bag. So let's get inside. The most important element, which I'm filming on now, isn't in here. So my camera, the Sony A7C. So first of all, why Sony? Well, basically a lot of my favourite YouTubers use Sony. So Optical Wonder, North Borders, just to name a few. But as well, when I was looking at cameras, I didn't want to get a large camera. I didn't want a large viewfinder. I wanted a similar size to an APS-C camera. However, I also wanted to future-proof myself. So when I was doing a bit of research, the A7C had just come out, so that is a full frame sensor, and it ticked all the boxes for me. So that is the reason I took the camera. It's quite a quick and easy decision, and to be fair, there was a bit of a deal online, so that's what we bought. The lens I'm using, I've got one main lens which I'm using now, so this is my main vlogging lens, and I do a lot of photography with it. That's the Tamron 17-24 f2.8. So I know the basics about lenses. Smallest f-stop you can get, the better I think they go by. So we took this great lens, does everything I need. I have also got the Sony 28-60 kit lens. So I got this with the camera just to cover myself off, really, knowing if I did want to get that bit closer with a lens, could use this. They're the only two lenses I have, the only two lenses I think I need. I've never been in a position, not yet anyway, where I wish I did have some other coverage. The mic I use is the Movo Pro. So this is quite a small mic. Typically all your YouTubers you see have the Rode Video Mic Pro, I believe it is, which is a big mic, bigger mic, much bigger mic, more expensive but quality. As I mentioned at the start though, when I was getting into this, I didn't want to spend a lot of money, so quite a bit of research and found that this is the mic I want, and it's been great. What else do I have camera wise? GoPro. This is the Hero 7 Black, yep, there we go. I've had this quite a while now. I generally take it when I'm going scuba diving or just general adventure around the UK if I know that taking the A7C isn't really practical. It's been great, to be fair. It's done all sorts, dropped it and it's never broke, other than the cage I've got for it is a third party cage now, but it does its job. I believe when I dropped it I was at Ingleton actually, when I actually broke the original cage which I had for many years. So I'll put that out. I'll start putting the stuff to the side of what I've got. The drone then. So my first and only drone I've had. By the control, if you know your drones you might know what drone it is already. Mavic Air 2. So I had this since its release really. Perfect for what I need. Quite a small little light drone, however it does need registering because it is over the 250 gram threshold. With the recent release of the Mavic Mini 3 Pro, to be fair, I am considering selling this, especially when I've taken it abroad before I've had it taken off me. I've always got it back of course, but it's when you're going through the airport, especially last time I went to Dubai, it got seized. You might notice on there I have got a variable ND filter on there. They're great. I have got a set of ND filters that came with the drone, however I did find it a bit of a mess about it, if I'm honest, when you're just stuck with the one filter size. So the filters I've got here are the FreeWell filters, so it just covers me from the 0 to 9 stops effectively. Ideal. This is something that will fit snugly in here as well with the camera, so like I've said before, very useful to have. I've taken out and just carried this before. We'll get into what's in there shortly. Little DJI bag, I got that free. Sometimes helps you protect the drone when I'm out and about and it don't get thrown about, but you know what I mean, just gives it that protection. Spare batteries. I did get the DJI Fly More pack when I bought this. So tripod sticks. Well, first of all, that I did used to really like, the DJI Osmo. And I turned this on though the other day. It did exactly that. So it's turned on now, and yeah, it's broke. Quite gutted if I'm honest. Yeah, I'm gonna put it, see if anyone wants it, if anyone can repair it, or well, if they can repair it I'll of course keep it, but If not, it's probably going in the bin. I'm not sure how it's happened. I just came to test it the other day and it wasn't working. So I had that. Have had tripods. That's the tripod that goes with the Osmo. This little cheapy thing came with my ring light. To be fair, this is what I vlog with 9 times out of 10 when I'm walking around with the camera. And if I'm on the mobile, I've got this little Joby, the phone Gorilla Pod. I've had that, must have had this about 5 years to be fair. It's doing very well. My main tripod that I'm filming on now is just an Amazon special, £20 if I'm honest, and it's nearly falling over. It's not quite safe. I don't think that is going to make the trip to Australia if I'm honest. Probably upgrade for there. I wouldn't take the tripod and use it outside. I wouldn't trust it not to fall over if I'm honest. The tech side of things then. Here we go. 2016 MacBook Pro 16-inch. I got upgraded to the 1TB of memory, so quite a bit of research before I'd stepped into buying the Mac. Realised how much everyone emphasised to get the storage capacity right. I've not run into any issues yet in terms of storage. I have pretty much maxed it out previously, and I've just bought 2 external hard drives, so little Samsung 1TB SSDs. If I was to ever upgrade in the future again, I would probably try to go for the 4TB storage if I could afford it at the time, because yeah, you have got to, you want the storage, you've got to pay for it. For my editing, I use Final Cut Pro. Yeah, I like it. I didn't really want to pay a monthly fee for the Adobe software. However, I say that I use Lightroom and Photoshop and pay for them monthly, so anyway, I'm used to Lightroom, sorry, not Lightroom, I'm used to using Final Cut now, quite quick with it, so I'll stick with Final Cut. The iPad I use is the 2018 iPad Pro. So it might seem a bit excessive having 2 of these to carry around. I wouldn't carry these around every day with me. Normally this is for watching films when I'm travelling around and stuff, especially on the aeroplane or on coaches, etc. I do my editing on the MacBook. I have messed around before using Lightroom on here to try and edit photos. It's not something I've really stuck with or found it has a good workflow. I might start doing it again if I'm travelling around a lot more in Australia, but it's mainly for just watching content, YouTube, Netflix, that sort of stuff. Headphones, earphones, what do I use? I'm gonna go and get them.
5 hours later.
AirPods Pro. So you might have gathered I'm quite an Apple lover, but to be fair, people complain about the price sometimes, but the quality I find is great. I've had these since their release. I use these pretty much every day at least once for going to the gym or some morning cardio, watching films on the plane again for example, or just general editing. They're perfect for what I need. Comfy, small, light in the ear, noise cancelling, works. I mean, if you can drown out the sound of other people talking, perfect for me. There may be better products out there. If the new version of these comes out, I'm buying them. What else do I have in here? Accessories. So, number 1, some people might find it unusual, some people might not. Head torch. So when I've got up previously to go for the early morning sunrises, especially if I'm going up a mountain, essential. Critical even, especially when you can't see where you're walking. So this head torch stays in my camera bag. The light bar. So this was something I just searched on Amazon to find. Just wanted to toy with some photography really when I had a go. Needs charging. Oh no, it don't. There we go. So this does all the colours you would expect: red, green, blue, and then the 3 shades of white, depending on how warm you want the light to be. So that does come in useful if you want to do any creative photography, which hopefully we'll be doing in Sydney when we get there. So we have that. I have a SD card reader. So if you're familiar with the MacBook, the 2016, it doesn't have an SD card slot. Why? God knows. The new one does though, the new MacBook. So yeah, I'm not planning to upgrade anytime soon, but I know if I do, I can potentially have 2 SD cards inputs at the same time. Hard drives, I mentioned I've got 2 1TB hard drives spare. They're not actually in this bag, I don't tend to carry them around with me, they're just more emergency backups really for when it's full and just when I've zipped up all my old videos and store them away, so I wouldn't tend to carry them. ND filters, so we touched on the ones for the drone. I've also got some for the camera, so some Gobe or Gobi. Guess depends where you're from of how you want to say it. This has got a UV ND1000 and a polarizer on there, and I've also got a VND on the camera. Some people don't really like VNDs, but I find them fine, to be fair. I'm not a professional or anything, so they do everything I need them to do. So that's the case. Again, Gobi there for the VND. Batteries, so I touched on this pocket here which goes straight through on the side of the bag. So I've got 3 Sony batteries. So if anyone's familiar with these, they're not cheap, and I was meaning to buy a third-party battery due to cost. However, I'd accidentally clicked on the wrong battery and purchased it when I was, where was we flying? I think to go to Dubai, and it wasn't going to come in time, so then I did the exact same again, bought another one, and guess what? They both turned up in time to go to Dubai, so I ended up keeping them. So I've got 3 of those batteries. So I should never ever have a reason to run out of battery on a day. And then I've also got 3 additional GoPro batteries. So there's 1 in the GoPro and 3 spare here. I picked some of these up recently, especially since the 10's come out. I imagine at some point the Hero 7, if it hasn't already, will be discontinued. So batteries there, perfect. Try and get them back in, sometimes not the easiest. What I do have as well in this pocket, what I carry around, is just a power bank. Can't remember, I think it's a 10,500 milliamp power bank. Mainly if it's to power the phone up or something like that really. I think it will give the iPad and the Mac a boost, but it's not really for that, it's not powerful enough for that. But I do carry that around in here. Finally, most importantly, memory cards. They just happen to be in the front. I wouldn't normally keep them in there. I've got a little JJC waterproof box for them. So I've got 2 SD cards for the camera and the rest are micro SD for the GoPro and drone. I once thought I'd lost this and I'd not put any memory cards in any of my equipment, so it was just a lost cause, a full day's filming gone. But you learn from these mistakes, don't you? So I'll show you inside here now. It's clear now, there's nothing in. So I'll just take these out. So you can see there my sections, 3 main sections on the top, and then this here where you can put the drone in with the 2 levels, the drone and the remote. And this, the shoulder carry bag. So when I say shoulder, you'll be wondering where the strap is. It is actually inside. So if I just, that's the strap there. But what I do, I have in here all my cables. So to try and keep it light, I do have just like 2 main power adapters, like this, and the one for the drone, because the DJI ones are a bit bespoke for charging these type of batteries. And then the rest I have are USB-C connectors, so it does everything I need. I also have in here the dual charger for the GoPro, some chest strap and a head strap, which come in handy sometimes, especially when clambering around with the GoPro and you want to record it. And then in here, spares for the drone, so spare blades if needed. Luckily, touch wood, I've not needed these. I've not had any significant accidents, and I've also never managed to lose these sticks as well, so I've got the spare sticks in there, so if I do come to sell this drone, I have got everything for it. Let's try and fit that back in there now. To sort my bag out after this, aren't I? I think that is everything. What I've not touched on is the Peak Design clip I have on here. So the Arca Swiss connector, so that's for when I'm walking around. If I'm using the camera quite a lot, I can just put it on the shoulder strap, pull it off. What I do plan on doing is upgrading the tripod as well to the Joby Gorilla Pod and get the Arca Swiss connection plate as well on it then, so if I do need to go from tripod or just back onto my strap, should all be fine. But trying to save a little bit at the minute. If I do buy some of this new equipment, I'll wait till I'm over in Australia. Yeah, I think that's everything. That is what I'm taking to Australia in terms of my tech. So in terms of flying, I will have all this on me on the plane and get some editing done, for example. May or may not have this drone with me when I go, but I think I've got more than enough equipment to bring some good content when I land. So if you're looking forward to that and you want to see my journey in Australia, share some of the experience with me, like, subscribe and stay tuned for the future videos.